Hi, I'm John Greaves III. I know you guys know that I love checking out unique home gyms, and we have got an awesome one for you guys today. I am pleased to be here with Rock Hoffman, and Rock is a rugby player and a competitive powerlifter in the USAPL. So I cannot wait to dive into this. But first of all, Rock, thank you for having us here. Thank you for inviting us in and showing us your home gym.
Yep, pleasure to be here.
Well, man, I said that you were a rugby player, and I'm just now learning about the sport of rugby, and that was like the first thing I know that. So, like in the Rugby Atlanta Pro team, they've got at least one guy I know who's got a home gym is John Sullivan. But I as soon as I started watching the sport and getting into it, I was like, there's got to be rugby players who have a home gym somewhere, and I got to find one. And then I just happened to see you go across my Instagram feed. I said, there you go. All right. So tell me, how does rugby playing and powerlifting mix together?
Compared to most other sports, rugby definitely has a larger kind of strength and conditioning aspect to it. A lot of heavy hits you have to do, and if you're not one of the faster guys, you have to make up by being one of the bigger guys. For me in rugby, I was incredibly coordinated and just like wasn't the best at making game time decisions, so I had to make up for that with my size and just like ability to tackle. So I played rugby for 3 years in college. Kind of got into the whole aspect of like lifting kind of more competitively in our team lifts. We'd lift in our like college facility. And it was like, it wasn't quite the full energy of like those typical like high school football team lifting videos, but like it got there sometimes.
Of course, yeah.
And then after getting injured my junior year, ended up quitting the team and kind of focusing more on lifting. My just size blew up, just not doing all that running around all the time. My numbers kind of started coming up too. And since then I've done like 4 meets now.
Okay. So. Well, man, I mean, I'm looking at you, and so you said you put on weight, because when I was looking at you, I said, okay, so that dude, you've got to be like, what is it, like the lock? Left lock, right lock. Okay, so exactly, I told you I'm learning. So, and that's the guy in the scrum. And basically, for anybody who doesn't know what a scrum is, it's basically you going shoulder to shoulder and you're shoving against the other team. And so a lot of rugby players end up being like really, I mean, well, the way you look, but from what you're describing, you actually weren't the guy that you weren't in the scrums. Were you like a fly half or something like that? Like basically the guy that stands behind and takes the ball and takes off running?
Yes, I mean, we kind of, I moved around a lot. When I first started, I started my freshman year of college. I was maybe like 195 pounds, 190. So like,
how tall are you?
6'2".
Okay.
So pretty lengthy. Small. I got long limbs.
Okay.
But yeah, no, when I first started, I was coming from like a more track and field background previously. So they put me in as a wing. I think that's the easiest position to learn just because you don't really have any lines to run. You just kind of run on the outside.
Yeah.
Wings and
you basically just got to run straight forward and wait for them to throw you the ball.
Yeah, they do the least work and they get all the glory, you know. So that's kind of the thing.
I got you. Okay, it's not bad. Hey, it's not a bad way to live. Yeah. All right.
Kind of over time, I kind of got switched to being a forward. I was a lock a couple of times in some of the kind of B-side, less competitive games, and when I was kind of still lighter, I'd be the one getting lifted up in the lineouts.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I mean,
if everybody's watching this and they don't know what he's talking about, it's like when you throw the ball in bounds, that's what a line out is when you're throwing the ball in bounds. They don't just jump. You get a boost. So people pick you up too. And it's just, the first time I saw that, I was just like, what is going on here? Because all I knew about was like American football and soccer. And those two sort of prepare you for rugby, but they don't really. But I mean, like I said, but so you said you got injured and then you transitioned into lifting. So how did that lifting background from rugby help you when you probably had a huge gas tank. So how did that help you when you got onto the platform to powerlift?
Yeah, definitely. I think for rugby, a lot of kind of what makes players, especially one of the forwards, one of the more kind of contact intensive players, great, especially in like the position of scrums, is just being able to have grit. A lot of times you're going to be in that like squat position, you're horizontal, your cleats are like digging into the dirt and you're trying to essentially drive the other team back. The ball's placed in the middle so the ball can essentially go behind you guys. So you guys are both pushing as hard as you can, but trying to kind of maintain balance as well. I guess more broadly, I'd imagine that helps for kind of squats when either the bar path or the stance isn't quite right. Being able to kind of move out of those precarious positions, definitely helpful. And I think then more generally, I think just the grindability. I think
that's what I was saying. I was gonna say it probably helps you to grind.
Yeah, some person's will or a whole team's will against your own will, and you're just how you have to get it done. You know,
you're used to pushing, and it feels like it's not gonna move, but you like I just gotta keep on pushing. So that's pretty good.
Yeah,
so what are your best numbers on the platform?
Yeah, so in meets, my meet PRs are 363 on bench, 507 on squat, and 617 on deadlift. And I haven't competed since last June. So recently I hit a pretty solid gym PR. It's like a softer pause, but working on it. I got a 408 on bench.
Nice.
Deads and squats. Kind of been working on those a lot, just form switches and stuff. So not any crazy progress since then, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, man, look, it looks like you're making really good progress, and you've got a gym that's you're actually sitting in your gym / bedroom right now because you have a studio apartment. So I'm assuming that you started your gym because of the pandemic. So I want to see it. Let's not wait any longer. I want to check out this home gym you have in a studio apartment, see what you're able to do with the space you have available. Let me see. So first of all, what's the square footage that you had to work with? Because it's a studio apartment. So you got a bed, you got, everything's in that room except the bathroom, right?
Yep. Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I recently moved to a slightly bigger apartment. So I have a little more square footage now, but basically my gym takes up an 8x4 platform essentially.
Okay.
And then an additional kind of 4x4 footprint.
So yeah, let's go ahead and see the gym part. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Yeah. So
so that's 8x8 right there, right?
Yep. Or 8x4.
8x4. Okay.
Yeah. So this whole thing, it was kind of built over time. I feel like everyone in home gyms, they always start out with like the bare minimum. They slowly start kind of gathering more equipment. So in this case, this platform, I built it myself. I have.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I have Amazon just like foam tiles right here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And those are interlocked with just like nails into like a rug, an 8x4 piece of plywood, and then there's some vinyl in there as well. It's a little hard to see, but I'll try to show here.
Oh, I can see that. No, that's awesome, dude. Because I mean, you got hardwood floor, and your landlord's not trying to hear about your powerlifting career. He's like, hey, you would get that. So how does that help you with do your neighbors ever complain on deadlift day?
So they used to a lot, actually. So at my old place, I was on the 3rd floor. It was this pretty old building, and my first 2 months, which was when I graduated college in 2020, my first 2 months in the pandemic, I was lifting exclusively at home.
Right.
And there was no one living below me. I just didn't have a neighbor, and I got used to like kind of acting like I didn't have any neighbor.
Okay.
So then a couple
people
months
moved
later,
in. They're like, there'll be no more of that. Okay.
Yeah. So I had a few noise complaints. Just not great vibes there. Ended up moving to a 1st floor apartment this time around. So no downstairs neighbors, no complaints.
So now you're good to go.
So far. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yep.
So let's check out this bench because it looks like it's slightly longer than the rack. So when you are benching, do you normally put something underneath that the foot that's by your by the seat to kind of shim it up, make it even?
No, I've been trying to figure that out for a while now, actually. So the best I've done, I used to put these just 45-pound plates. They're like rubber mats material kind of, so they don't slide a ton. But I've still found that like on some kind of longer sets, the leg drive would just slide them out. Obviously, so I have this piece here just to keep it level. That's literally just some cardboard, duct tape, and then rubber, just to keep the friction like from the floor, so the bench doesn't slide, and that works pretty well. Yeah.
Which bench do you have?
So this is I got this for free actually. This is a Precor
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
adjustable bench.
Hey, shout out to that. All right.
Shout out to Precor. Hopefully they're still in business.
I know, right? They actually made a bunch of cardio equipment too for a while.
Okay.
That looks like it's kind of slick. That's like my first adjustable bench. So what I had to do was like put a band on it into my bench so I wouldn't slide. How do you deal with sliding on the bench?
I don't tend to get that issue a ton, just because I don't have any super aggressive kind of arch or leg drive. It's something that my immobility kind of keeps me from. What I do kind of wish was a little better about this bench. So this piece kind of slides a little bit sometimes.
Okay.
And then just in general, this bench is 11 inches across. I think in powerlifting, it's a little bit bigger. It's like 12 and a half to like 11 and a half and 12 and a half. So it's a little narrow for the back, hard to kind of really retract the shoulders fully.
That's one of the gym upgrades you got planned, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me about your rack. Which rack is that?
So that's the Rogue SML. So that's the Monster Lite 1 power rack.
Okay.
It's 6 feet tall. So it's really good for kind of smaller apartments where you're not going to have particularly high ceilings. Pretty solid stability once you add in kind of all these pieces here. I've dropped pretty heavy weights. I failed squats above 500, dropping the weight on here. And as long as you kind of have a counterbalance, it doesn't tip over. So these are
that's what the buckets are for?
Yes.
Nice.
These are kind of funny. They're filled with concrete. Let me see if I can try to open one here.
They made an appearance in a bench video of yours. You had like, it looked like 315. That was
early in the pandemic.
That was the video with the dab at the end. I was like, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think early in the pandemic, I had to do some things just to keep myself entertained.
Of course. Yeah.
And then also just kind of summer 2020, the price of weights were so high. So I had the idea of filling up buckets with the same amount of concrete. So I bought these huge bags of concrete from Home Depot, filled it up, added water. And now each bucket weighs more or less 58.6 pounds.
Okay.
And I use that as like a makeshift kind of, I guess an bamboo, like earthquake bar,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
I got you.
it's a lot of instability. And I think it works for the time being. When I didn't have like a ton of weights, I was able to add like considerably more for my bench. And I think in general, just doing that for a few months straight really helped with like getting out of misgrooves in the future.
So what kind of bar do you have?
So this is a giant Phenom bar. It's a little random, but I got it off Craigslist. It was new. I got it then, and it's basically a hybrid powerlifting, weightlifting bar. So these collars here, they actually spin for the purpose of kind of Olympic weightlifting. But it still has the stiffness basically of like Ohio power bar, Rogue Ohio power bar. So
you said it's a hybrid bar. So does it have the center knurl?
It does not have the center knurl, and I think the general knurling is relatively soft compared to what you'd get in powerlifting.
Okay. So what you do to make sure your hand spacing was the same? Did you just measure it?
It doesn't have the center knurling piece, but it has. These are the same. Like this is the same ring for powerlifting, where your pointers go. And then this is actually the maximum ring for Olympic weightlifting.
When you're not using buckets for weight, what plates do you use?
The max weight I can lift in here is like 735 pounds.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I gathered up all kind of random brands, just the ones that were available in 2020.
Where are those?
Because this is my apartment, there's really nowhere else to put them besides in my closet. So I could show you guys that really quick.
Heck yeah. Show me the good stuff. Don't let any socks fall.
Yeah. So
nice.
On the bottom left here, these two are actually 100-pound weights.
Okay.
I just got them off Amazon.
The two gray ones?
Yeah.
So
I got them off Amazon. I had to get like a freight company to schedule a time to deliver it, just because I guess your regular run-of-the-mill Amazon drivers aren't going to be moving 200 pounds of steel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so right. I don't use those plates often anymore. They helped a lot kind of early on, just because this is before I really had a ton of 45s. Besides that, I have these two kind of rounder cat barbell weights. It's a COVID classic, I feel like everyone has this.
Hey. Yeah, I've had some cat barbell stuff in my life in the past.
And then this brand here, Actually, I think it's cap as well. I got these off Craigslist as well. I picked up like 4 of them for a pretty decent price at the time. So those are pretty useful. And then the last ones here, it's kind of a little hard to see, the black kind of rubbery matte ones. And those are the ones I usually use for my footing. Those I ended up kind of getting from a friend, right with the bench when I kind of started the whole home gym career. Beyond that, I have a couple more plates here.
There you go. All right.
Closet. So we got the York 35s. York was having some crazy sales. I feel.
So hold on, they're not worthy to be in the other closet, or do you just keep them separate or you just don't want to stack them because then you'd have to get the 45s out.
Too much, you know.
I got you.
But yeah, I have the bigger ones here, and then the 35s, and then some kind of smaller change plates. So I have 1 set of 5s, 2 sets of 2.5s. I think I got this from Modell's a while back, and then the rest is cat barbell.
Nice, man. I'm loving this, dude. This is awesome.
So this is one of my more recent pieces here. This is Titan leg extension, leg curl machine. I got it maybe a month ago. I think it's a pretty solid piece of equipment. I think it's kind of advertised for its lower just like footprint overall. It's basically like it's held within a 4x3 space, more or less.
Gotcha.
So really good for kind of smaller home gym apartments.
Is it plate loaded?
Yeah, so I have some bumpers loaded. Actually, I forgot about these plates. These the company's X Mark. Just
X Mark Fitness. Okay, yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, so pretty solid piece of equipment. I think the only thing that makes this, I guess, inferior to a kind of a cable machine leg extension, leg curl is that the distribution of weight isn't entirely consistent. So kind of just due to the physics of it, when you have the weights here, just like right close to the end, you don't need as much force to move it up. Whereas once you kind of go higher up here, the weights are further out from, I guess, the fulcrum. So it's a lot more force. So your lockouts are more difficult than like the beginning. But I've seen people add like bands to that and stuff to kind of make the tension a little more strong.
Even it out.
Yeah. Then I have this glute ham roller here. This is also Titan.
Okay.
Yeah. You can also do some kind of ab circuits there, if you didn't power lift.
That's where you can lay down on your back and put your heels on it, kind of do hamstring curls and things like that.
It's basically like a modified bridge. You could add bands to it as well. Good for the hamstrings.
And then I've heard of those.
Then from Rogue, I have this kind of Bulgarian split squat or like lunge attachment here.
Oh, nice. How do you like that?
It's kind of a perfect height for where I need to be. I usually put my feet right here off the edge, and that works well. But yeah, no, I think it feels really stable in the rack, which is nice. It's comfortable enough. And I think that's just really good. I think when
you can just put it wherever you want, right?
Yeah, you can attach it to kind of the rack on the inside and the outside, higher up, lower down.
Perfect.
I think when you're starting out a home gym, obviously you get the squat rack and everything first. But if you're really trying to isolate those smaller movements, it's a lot easier to kind of get some attachments like this. And Rogue makes a ton. They have like dip bar attachments, a few other like pull-up bar. They have like kind of these kind of grippier things from the front, like the rock climbing grip. So definitely there's a lot of versatility just by having like a Rogue rack or just like one of these power racks. So
definitely. Yeah. So what's the next thing that you want to get besides a banner like what I have over my shoulder? I know you want one of those, but other than that, what else do you want?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the biggest thing here is just that I'm a little space constraint. I think they're like even just adding this here really took away the possibility of me having like any furniture in my room. I just pretty much have my bed and the gym. Works out well though. It's really the only things I need. That being said, I think if I were to upgrade, I think upgrading the bench is something I've been meaning to do generally. I think just having one that's like closer to competition standards, so just being flat all across, a little bit wider, would suit me well.
It'd be competition height too. That's another thing. How tall is your bench?
Not tall enough. I haven't measured it out, but I have pretty long legs, which means that is kind of an important factor to me. And a lot of times when I bench like this, I'm not really able to drive my knees that far down, and kind of get like a nice angle for solid leg drive. I've definitely seen worse in commercial gyms. But but yeah, no, that's something that's also a factor. I think one piece that I might try to get, and maybe just placed right here where this mat scale and amplifier are, is just like kind of a home gym version of a lat pull down machine, maybe, or just like some sort of like hybrid stack, you know?
Yeah, they have those little corner units.
Yeah, like
they don't take up a lot of space.
Capacity 300 pounds or something, nothing crazy, but just like you could do some tricep extensions, lat pull downs, whatnot.
Yeah. There have been some. I haven't tried. Well, I've tried a few, but the one that I'm actually seeing that I like the most, is it looks like it. Well, it may not work for you because it looks like it bolts into the wall. And I'm not sure your landlord's gonna be cool with that, but there are some models, basically what I'm saying, that they kind of just go in the corner and they don't take up a lot of space. So for you, you've done so much in a small space that it actually is motivating to me, because so you benched over 300. So on the platform, you've done over 360 pounds. So you did 363, you said. You've done a 500 squat. And how much was your deadlift?
617.
617, okay. Now I realized that you weren't training the entire time in the apartment, but you've gotten stronger since, you know what I mean? And so it's, and I realized that you also, now you've gone back to training a little bit in a public gym as well, but still, it's, you didn't lose anything during the pandemic. And so that's something that's motivating, because it shows what can be done even in a small space like that. And I just think that that's really awesome. I hope you don't ever lose that. That's one of the things about home gym ownership, that it helps kind of unlock your creativity. Like I said, I've been doing this for 20 years. It unlocks your creativity, and slowly but surely you start to customize your gym to yourself. So I want people to be able to follow this journey that you're on and see the developments of your home gym. And I definitely want them to be able to see the benching with the paint buckets from Home Depot. They got to see that's worth seeing. So how can people follow you on social media if they want to keep up with your training? And also, do you have any sponsors or anything like that, or a team that you want to shout out?
Yeah, definitely. So I guess first of all, I'm sponsored by Force Strength Co. here. They're a relatively new company. They launched in March 2021, and they just recently got approved in all federations for their equipment, which are wrist wraps and knee sleeves for now. They have a few more designs coming out. Super excited for that. In terms of following me, you can find me on Instagram at Rose4Ruggers. That's ROWS 4 RUGGERS. Ruggers is slang for rugby player. It's the origin story. I'm also Rose4Ruggers on TikTok, just FOR for that one. Happy to kind of talk to you this morning. Hopefully give you guys an insight on my gym, my training, and inspire a few people.